It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello and welcome to episode 44 of the Ravager Report. I am, as always, your host, Dorian. And unfortunately, Hebrew cannot make it tonight because that guy is going on a cruise tomorrow. But with me is the wild, wonderful WolverThor. And
What's going on?
and the voracious villain, ValleyFlyin. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, yeah. We are taking over, brother. Valley World Order. For life.
That's right, guys. We have a couple of special guests, a couple of my fellow envoys joining us as we discuss the latest news and everything from this week. And guys, we've kind of had a big one. But before we get into that,
I thought I was in a gardening show.
Wait, we haven't got there yet.
Oh, okay,
we're still doing the intro, man.
Oh, okay. I'm new to this. I'm sorry.
So, we had a little bit of a late start. We were enjoying a pre-show with our patrons, which we try to do every week, which if you'd like to participate, you can join us. Number one, you can join our Discord at discord.me/Ravager Report. And then you can join our Discord at, there it is. Well, you can join our patronage at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we have subscriptions starting at $2 going all the way up to $20. The pre-show is available to everybody. The $5 patron level gets you the early uncut show. So basically it's like listening live. You just don't have to be here on time. So, guys, we're going to get into the gardening. Don't worry. But before we do that, Wolver, will you let us know what have you been up to this past week, buddy?
I'm trying to honestly decide what I want to save up for or invest in game. There's just with Fantastic Four coming in, and and I'm assuming this is an MSF question, not just my life. Look, I'm happy to talk about my life if you guys are here to listen.
Typically, we do both.
Okay,
Hebrew's not here, so we can go as long as we want.
Okay, there you go. I had shoulder surgery about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I've kind of been laid up and icing, but I'm starting to get a little movement back. So physical therapy, just sitting around watching some TV. Have you guys watched The Boys on Amazon Prime?
No, I've heard it's very, very good.
Is that the superhero one?
It is.
I want to see that one.
It's a very adult superhero show. And I will say that I really liked it. It was really good. I've talked to a bunch of friends who aren't, necessarily in this gaming community, and they just thought it was great. And I highly recommend it. So I watched that. I'm starting to watch Money Heist. That seems interesting. But yeah, otherwise, in game, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to focus on. I'm really torn on whether I want to bring people up to like T12 route level or wait for like a Fantastic Four and, put it into them.
That's a fair question. I think we kind of want to see what those abilities are going to look like first, like maxed out. I don't know.
For me, Invisible Woman is really, and Valley said this, and I don't know if it was his news video or one of them he did recently, but the team is really, you're missing a huge component there. It can make them great or just kind of okay, and that's to me where I'm like, I'm trying to figure that out.
Right. So
I
Valley,
think they're going to make them great. I think they're going to make them great. They know how to market stuff. I think they're going to make it great.
Valley, what have you been up to this past week?
In game. I just got Colossus up to gear 13. Been waiting on the uniques for that. Still need one more for Phoenix. Nothing too exciting. Waiting for this Magneto event to get him up to 7 stars. And then next week we got the Star-Lord event for everybody that doesn't have Star-Lord. Just been playing a lot of war and a lot of game stuff. Saw Molly's game this past weekend with the wife, and Tobey Maguire's a mean guy in that movie.
Who stars in that?
The Jessica Chastain.
Okay, that was pretty good.
She's good.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and Idris Elba is the lawyer.
I like him.
I don't think he does not do a bad movie.
No, I agree.
So.
Did you guys ever see The Wire?
Stringer Bell.
No,
exactly.
I've not seen The Wire. I've heard it's the greatest show ever made.
Are you being sarcastic?
I think I might have to.
No, I'm serious. I've not seen it.
What? Oh my goodness.
I've also not seen The Sopranos.
Actually, I'm with you on that one, so I can't hate on you.
Who am I on this podcast? My goodness.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Hey,
Well,
you see the thing in the chat, Dorian,
huh?
that all the mascots are covered. ValleyFlyin brought the Hulk. WolverThor brought Wolverine and Thor, and Dorian brought a monstrosity.
Yeah, you're damn right I did. Hardest hitting tune in the game, man. I'm telling you, y'all sleeping on it.
Allegedly. I have yet to see proof of that.
I want to share a story about a monstrosity in war. I ran against a 7 Red Star A monstrosity. And he was probably, what, 60, 70K or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I brought my 30K Winter Soldier and one-shot it with his ultimate. I was just like, oh, I can't wait to tell Dorian this one.
Oh, that's
I'm
fantastic.
I held that story until right now.
That is fantastic. Well, you guys wanted to see Angry Dorian. Here it comes.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more about an intervention about your aim team than anything. So that's what we come to talk to you about tonight, Dorian. Stop investing in it. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your roster. Please stop for the good sake of the community.
Hey, I haven't invested in them in a while. I'm just letting the shards build up at this point. I've had I Power Armor, Minerva. They all got me back on track. And then obviously Ultron, working towards Ultron's been crazy, but. No, I haven't put anything into AIM in a while, though. I'm going to want to. I think we're all going to want to at some point. Very soon. Don't have a date yet, but soon, TM. But real quick,
WolverThor has something to say about that, and when we get to rumors.
Well, yeah, I could talk about that.
I think he does. He does.
So real quick, this past week, me personally, a lot of stuff going on at work. I have been... I'm moving into a new position at work, so I gotta get that all settled out and kind of train my replacement. And then in game, been dealing with just trying to get Ultron leveled up and trying to kind of back off the amount of time, because when I that week I put in for Ultron, man, I worked this game like it was a job. So it was oof. That was crazy. So
well, congratulations on finally getting him.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. He's sitting at tier 11 right now, and I still need I want to say 300 spiky balls for the tooth pieces that are left. The tech gear is insane in this game.
Get him up, and it makes your second run so much easier. So I've heard.
Yeah,
I did a second run without him.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting on my second run until I have him, and I'm going to replace Fury. And run Star-Lord, Minerva, Ultron, Groot, and Shield Security. So
you might be able to use Fury over security on that, honestly.
Maybe. So the thing is that I know Fury drops the securities, but they don't taunt.
Yeah.
So I kind of want security there to taunt, because Minerva keeps him alive.
That's what Groot and Rocket are there for the taunt. I mean, that's one of the things they're there for.
Right. Well, so for me, Groot was always there for the death proof. He was there for the partial cleansing, which was nice, but primarily he was a death proof machine. I just wanted him to death proof people.
Yes, that is one of his benefits, but the other is when Rocket does his special, Groot taunts, Groot dies, gives everybody all his buffs, and Minerva brings him back to life, and they do it all over again.
You know what? I'll have to try that.
Yeah,
there are so many different combos once you get Ultron,
and you'll be able to basically auto it. I mean, you get the Ultron army set up, and you can click auto and just kind of keep an eye out and make sure that your tunes don't get burned down, or if a Doctor Strange pops,
right?
And you will fly through it.
Nice.
And just watch your cooldowns when you're ending a node.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right.
Because you would get he's really, really bad if his cooldowns are not set up.
Very true.
Awesome. So yeah, that's kind of been what I've been working on. And then oof, that's pretty much it. Had some fun today. Went out and just had fun before the show with the family. So getting stuff set up. So yeah, that is the week. Although, guys, it's not a week in review without a Rose Watch 2019.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about the roses and the frogs, brother. That's what I actually came here for.
So the frog got back in the house. It got back in the house. It was on the wall above my bedroom door. So my wife had to go get it and throw it outside, and she took care of that thing. But
after you, Dorian.
It was.
It must be attracted to that A monstrosity. It knows you have it on your phone, and it keeps coming in looking for it.
Probably is. But those roses, man. I got one rose bush. It's almost 5 foot tall. That thing is just crazy. It's just. Ugh. It's so good. So good on the roses.
I keep a successful year for your roses.
It's a very successful year. Well, the nice thing is because I live in the South. Or south-ish, I'll get a little bit of freeze. We'll get a little bit of snow, but the roses should bloom most of the year. I would say probably 9 months out of the year, if not 10. So, no, my wife did not kiss the frog to see if it was better looking because, dude, I mean, come on, man, I'm me.
Why
am
go
smexy.
for filet mignon when you could have filet mignon?
Right?
That's right.
That's right. No. You could have filet mignon, but I am bacon wrap filet mignon. Okay? All right. Now, let's do this show.
Extra saucy.
Saucy. So, guys, we did do a survey for this week. And it was a little bit longer. It was a little bit longer, but we had a few different things to talk about. So without any further ado, let's kind of jump into it. Now, we did get 114 responses. So thank you to everybody who responded. We really appreciate it. So our first set of questions was about Update 3.4. So first question was, did you have problems with the game after this update? Yes or no? Valley, you first. Did you have any problems after this update?
No. The game was running a little slow sometimes on my phone before the update, and it was running a little slow on my phone since the update, and it's running fine on BlueStacks before and since, so I haven't noticed.
Okay. Wolver, how about you?
Pretty much the same. A little bit slower on BlueStacks, but nothing I've noticed. I'm an iOS Apple person, so it seemed okay for me.
So I actually had a few problems after the update where it was like really laggy, really slow. I would have like the icons would just get bright white and the game would just freeze up for a few seconds. It seems to have resolved. I've reinstalled a couple of times. It seems to have resolved itself now. And I am on a Galaxy S9 Plus. So, it sounds like we're all running, newer equipment. So we didn't really have too many problems. I know some people in my alliance are still having problems, and I believe that I hope Fox Next is looking into these things. But the community, however, was pretty evenly split on this. We had 56 people that said no, and 56 people that said yes, that they had problems. So that's pretty much as even of a split as you're going to get here. Mm-hmm. So the next question was, the update is introducing 4 new playable characters. Are you upset that they aren't Cyclops and Coulson? Yes, no, or don't care.
Oh, is this going to be when the angry Dorian comes out? Come on, we could do it.
Nah, the anger has to be natural, man. You can't just fake it.
Can't force it. Yeah, you know what? He's right there. I'll jump in here for this one for a little bit because I don't know if I'm angry, but I'm definitely annoyed about Cyclops. The fact that he was, 1, in the game for a minute, 2, he was in some of the graphics as far as the art in the game. So you're thinking, okay, he's coming soon. The X-Men were introduced with the movie, etc. And, for me personally, I saved a bunch of gear for him and I'm just sitting on it. Like, when is this dude coming to the game? I want to use my gear on him. And he's just kind of TBD, and it's, I don't know. So that's Coulson. I'm kind of like, whatever, shield's already good enough. So But Cyclops did frustrate me.
Wait a minute. You're talking the X-Men aren't good enough? They need Cyclops?
They need to be better. They need to be the best arena team in the game, period. So, yes, they need Cyclops.
Valley, how about you?
Coulson will bring S.H.I.E.L.D. back into relevance, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. But I definitely want these guys in the game. It seems like they're incomplete without these guys, and I'd like more X-Men. But I'm hoping after this Fantastic Four settles out, we finally get these guys and maybe Red Skull or some of these other backlog characters that we've been seeing and hearing about for a while.
That would be really nice. I'm kind of with you guys. I'm a little upset about it. I think that we've been teased with Coulson and Cyclops far too long now, and that we really need to see them coming in the game. I was actually kind of surprised here. So most people responded yes. At 52 people said yes. Only 15 said no, which is fine. But 47 people were like, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. I imagine that those 47 people didn't get Phoenix. So guys, next question was, do you think this update was more bug-free than the previous versions, yes or no?
My quick gut is yeah. But it didn't jump out at me like, wow, this is so much better than before. I mean, I remember when I used to play WoW at one point, there was this very clear, point where it was like, wow, they finally figured out how to patch the game. That moment didn't happen for me this time, but it was fine. Nothing that kind of jumped out at me that was like, terrible, but it seemed good.
What about you, Valley?
Yeah, I didn't have any problems after this update. What I find interesting, though, is that I would think that this question would have the same response as, did you have problems with the game after this update? And do you think this update was more bug-free than the previous updates? Interesting that these have different responses. I would figure they would be about the same, about 50-50 again. But
right,
got a bigger response from the yeses this time. So
we did. And I actually have to agree with him. I think that relatively it was much more clean. There were some issues, but I think that we didn't see any of the big, hey, people, an entire set of users can't log in. People are crashing, and they had to do emergency patches. This was definitely a much cleaner patch. But I agree with Wolver that it still doesn't have that. Hey, this was a very nice and smooth transition. I think they're still kind of working some of the kinks out on that. And it would be nice if they could do a client update without having to take down the servers. So I'm waiting for that point. That'll be really nice. But we did get 66 people that said that, yeah, they felt it was a more bug-free, and 48 people said no. I did not give the I don't care option. That may have been part of the discrepancy there. So next question was, for those of you who aren't aware, they are fixing the passive abilities, or some passive abilities. And so the question was, what do you think of their quote unquote fix for the passive abilities, Valley? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? Or you neither like it or don't like it?
Which passive abilities are you talking about they're fixing?
The ones for like Groot, where instead of he will not apply 2 slows anymore. He'll just apply 1 extended long slow. So that the reason for the 2 slows was that it would trigger immediately and then trigger again, when he's hit, right? Mm-hmm. So instead of getting a slow for 2 turns, which is what we thought we were buying, you're only getting a slow really for 1 turn because it would go away immediately because their turn was over.
To make it back to 2 turns?
No, they're changing it so that it's no longer 2 turns. You just won't see it come off immediately.
Okay, so it effectively does the same thing. It's just worded differently.
Right.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, so instead of applying 2 turns of slow, it's just going to be 1 turn of slow, but the slow won't come off when their turn is over. So basically after they hit Groot.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm with the audience here. Most of them are indifferent, neither like it or don't like it. I guess that's where I kind of am right now. I didn't notice that it was broken, honestly.
Yeah, and that was actually in the dev blog last week where they talked about the passive abilities and that they were going to fix the way that some of them were being applied. because they would basically come off almost immediately on the characters. And Groot stood out to me as the big issue on this, because I dropped a T4 ability to get 2 guaranteed turns of slow.
And it said that, right? It said for 2 turns, correct?
Correct.
Ooh, that's the part that I'm jumping in a little bit here, but that to me is the part that's a little bit problematic. Is I'm fine if it said 1 turn and it was just a graphic thing. That's very Storm-esque. I don't know if you remember that for her.
Right.
I think it might be her passive where it's the speed up. She had it for 2 and then it was just 1 or whatever.
Right.
For Groot, if they change the actual verbiage to say from 2 turns to 1 turn, then they should expect to have to give compensation back for the people who T4'd his passive. I want to see, there's a percent increase for him too, right? It goes from like 70% chance to 100% chance, or no?
It's 50% chance, and then the T4 makes it 100% chance.
Okay, then I don't know. I mean, I'd still do it because of the 100% chance probably, but yeah, I don't know. Changing it from 2 turns to 1 turn in the actual verbiage is different than just a graphic fix.
And that to me, and I don't know if they're going to change the verbiage as well as that. I imagine they will.
I just checked. It says 1 turn.
Does it say 1 turn? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it used to say 2 turns, but yeah, I'm not a fan. I'll be honest. I've asked about the T4 abilities, so I don't like this whole, the game's not working the way we thought, so rather than giving you what you paid for, Yondu, Black Widow, Rocket, we're just going to change the way the words work. Words don't mean what you think they mean anymore. I don't like it. I know games will do it, and they'll balance out characters, but this wasn't a balance. This was a bug.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I have an issue with it. But a majority of people just don't care. 66 respondents said they don't care. 37 people did say they don't like it, and 11 people did say they like the change. And then, so our last big one for the 3.4 update was, do you like the new auto kick demote ability for Alliance's Valley?
Yeah, I don't think it applies to a lot of the larger alliances, but for some of the smaller ones, I've seen posts on Reddit where people say, our alliance leader left, we're stuck, what do we do? And, all the progress you've made towards Star Tech and all the other stuff in the alliances would be kind of gone if you guys just left and started a new one. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. I like that they've done this. Yeah,
it's... I agree. I think it's a good thing. Active alliances, it's not going to be an issue. But for starter alliances and maybe some of your more casual alliances, it will. And we've, like I said, we've seen it.
Alliance with just a crazy person in charge.
Well, I have seen where people take their alliances and join clusters and give their alliance leadership over to other people, and then they'll just kick everybody. And I'm just like, dude, you don't ever do that.
I've seen horror stories about that on Reddit.
Oh, I've been involved in horror stories like that. So don't ever give up control of your alliance to somebody you don't know or just met. I don't care if you're joining a cluster or not. Do your research. You got to do your due diligence on that stuff. Wilver, what do you think, though?
I 100% agree with what we both said. 100%. Not going to apply to a lot, but I think it's a good thing for all the reasons that Valley said and you said, and it's nice to have in the game. And it's. I told my alliance, I was like, if it could be one day, I'd make it one day. But it's good for those type of alliances.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of our respondents, 58 people said yeah, they do like it. 44 said they don't care one way or the other, and 12 actually said no. So I'm kind of I'd love to talk to those 12 people and find out.
Yeah, at risk of getting kicked.
Yeah. Well, so you'll have to understand too. We get trolls on these surveys, and so usually it's only one or two. So next we're going to jump into a bit of news that we got midweek, and the concept of alliance leagues. Now, this is still new. It's not been fully fleshed out. They're still investigating some things and taking feedback. And guys, we, as you two know, and I know, the three of us have been part of a group providing some feedback, going, "Hey, that's fine if you want to do this, but let's take a look at some other things as well. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?" So, what about you, Wolver? Do you like the concept of alliance leagues?
I feel like we could literally talk about this for an hour.
Yeah.
This is such a loaded topic. The concept, yes. I like the concept of it. You alluded to, some other issues that you maybe get into before that. And that is, to me, where you've got to start some of this. But at the core of what this could mean, yeah, my quick answer is I absolutely like, the direction of it. It's just got to be executed very well. They really need to listen to the community and think about, everyone from the casual player all the way to the top 20 type alliances, and even differentiate those to the top 2 or 3, alliances.
Valley?
I agree with what you're saying. It could be, there's a lot of good things it could be for some of the top alliances, but then there's a catch-up mechanic as well. You want newer players to be able to catch up a little quicker so that there's people that you could play the game against, so they do need to watch that and balance that. But just looking at it from the, what it could mean for the game, a lot of the problem that a lot of people had with the Alliance Wars was the matchmaking. And if you're getting more rewards as you're facing those Cabal type alliances, you're not going to win those wars. But if you're getting the kind of rewards to compensate you for, always facing those kind of opponents, then it should lessen some of this thing, is what I'm hoping this will do.
Right. No, I agree. I in concept, I think it's great, but I think we need to know more about the mechanics before really coming down on this is going to be a good thing or it's just going to introduce more problems. As for the concept itself, 84 people do agree and do like the concept. 14 said no, and then 16 said, meh, I don't care. Okay, fair enough.
There's could be people who don't like war, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
So, guys, Wolver, let's come to you first here. Do you think this will fix any problems with Alliance War?
If we're just talking about the fact that they're going to include leagues with brackets, no. Well, let me say that differently. Well, don't think this will fix any. Yeah, it'll fix some problems, but I don't think it'll fix the main problems.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. Valley, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think it does. It has the potential to alleviate some of the matchmaking problems that we see. So I think it can sort of alleviate that if done right. But I know what you guys are going to say the main problem is. And no, it doesn't eliminate that.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, as far as we know.
It doesn't sound like this. It sounds like something's external. The main problem I think everybody talks about is the boosting system, and this is not going to address that at all. So
well, I don't think boosting's the main problem. I think boosting's one of the main problems. Absolutely.
What do you think the main problem is?
I think the matchmaking itself is the main problem. I think the matchmaking is bad.
If you got rewarded for going up against those higher alliances that you're not going to win against, wouldn't that solve some of the problems with the matchmaking?
No.
You're at least rewarded with you're rewarded with the compensation for your time of having to. The compensation, competitive war.
So the compensation is still pretty much going to be based off of your tier itself, right? And there might be a little bit additional if you punch up, but it's still demoralizing. I mean, look, I play a game because I want to win, right? And if for an alliance that's, say 50 mil GP under another alliance, even if you're in the same tier, it's demoralizing, right? If you know that you can't win and you just take that 2 days off, you're kind of like, why am I playing the game?
Let's say let's put it as a perspective. If you're someone that's normally playing at tier 5 and you go up to tier 7, what do you think is going to happen at that point? You think you're going to win all of those matches? Probably not. You just should be happy to get there. You're getting the higher rewards. You go down to tier 6, tier 5 again. I don't see that as demoralizing. I'm like, yeah, I got up to that higher tier that I didn't think we would get up to, and we got some big alliances in there.
Yeah.
And then it will get kicked down. I'm not going to get as many rewards, but it was cool that I got the rewards that time. So if the rewards are good enough, I think it does solve some of that matchmaking problems.
I got a question for you. Go ahead.
Well, all I was going to say as a rebuttal to that real quick was we don't know that the tier system is going to be used as part of the matchmaking. That's the issue. They haven't said yet.
Well, from the screenshot that I saw, it looks like there was like trophies, and each win or some action that you do in war is what I'm assuming you get those trophies for.
As an alliance, right?
I said if you're under the trophies, you'll get demoted to the previous league. If you're over a certain amount of trophies, you get boosted to the next league.
So when they sent out, now we don't know for 100%, right? But reading the post,
no, we don't know any information. Just
right.
all assumptions.
All assumption.
Other games.
But there was nothing in there about a change to matchmaking where you're only going to fight like within your league.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
If you're going to like if we're in the gold league, okay, and we are fighting somebody in the platinum league, that's a problem. If I'm in the gold league and I'm fighting somebody else in the gold league, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But
that's kind of how it's set up in Future Fight, and that's what I was comparing it to. I'm like, oh, they're bringing that system. It could be very well something totally against that and be horrible. Like, yeah, you're in the gold and go up against something platinum. That would be horrible to constantly have that.
So and that's kind of where that's why I think matchmaking is still the biggest problem, followed right by boosts and frequency of war.
Yes.
Well, hopefully this is done right and it solves the matchmaking.
Hopefully it is done right.
It's done like Future Fight.
Yeah.
That would be best case scenario.
Let's see. Did I give the community? The community said no. 73 people said no. They don't think it'll fix any problems. 31 people said yes, it'll fix some problems, and 10 said they don't care.
I think it has the potential to fix something.
And we kind of talked a little bit here about the next question, which was, should they limit matchmaking to only be within distinct leagues? Mm-hmm. Valley?
Hell yeah. Jeez.
Okay.
we did talk about this just now. But
Wolver?
Yeah.
So, quick answer is yes, but I got a little asterisk on it. When you get close, I don't know how it works in Future Fight, but how it works within this game I used to play called League of Legends is as you get closer to the top of the silver tier, you'll start playing people within the gold tier.
Right, the bottom of the gold tier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So outside of that particular situation, yes, it should be within the specific, league that you're in or whatever they're calling them.
I wouldn't mind that situation if that happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a completely fair. I mean, soccer does that, right? Where if you win your league, you're moving up, and if you're in the top two, and you can play people above. So, I do kind of like that. But we've got 77 that said yes, 20 that say no, and 17 don't care.
So with all your indifferent listeners,
it's alliance war, man.
Not say listener.
So here's the thing.
Just Reddit readers for all.
I make people answer all the questions to be able to get to the grab bag at the end. Hey, there's a method to my madness.
That's why you gotta okay.
Let's see. So, should the amount of trophies gained or lost be directly correlated to the differences between the two alliances? I.e., you lose less for facing a tougher opponent and win more for facing a tougher opponent.
Oh, that's an interesting breakdown. Mm-hmm. So, if they were to implement, if you're in gold and you got to face them in platinum, yeah, you should get rewarded more for facing someone that's way outside your league, win or lose. And so if they're going to do that, you definitely need something like this.
Okay.
Totally agree with that. They need that so badly in this because I think it'll help, people care a little bit more. Not that we need more time in game, but it will help people care more about war because you'll feel like, oh, whoa, if we beat these guys or compete against them, maybe we get more rewards. If you get, closer to a cabal, and maybe, I guess they might not do it based on wins and losses, but maybe semi-tiered within that win. If you're within 100 points of Cabal or whatever, maybe you get a little bit more, widgets, whatever those widgets might be.
Yeah.
That might be too tough to code. I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, It's doable though. I agree. I think the gained loss should directly be correlated to the differences between the two opponents. That whether that be punching up CP, whether that be punching up in leagues, I don't know. But I do think that it's definitely something that needs to be taken into consideration. And 88 people agree with us and said yes. 7 people said no. And 19 people said, why all these Alliance League questions? And then...
They want the grab bag, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. We're nowhere near there yet. And so the last Alliance League question is, would you prefer they fix common community complaints about Alliance Wars, boosts and frequency of war, before adding another layer to it? Yes, no, or seriously, dude, stop asking about Alliance Leagues. I just don't
Give me
care.
the damn grab bag.
So, Wolver, what do you think?
Yeah, my answer is yeah. They need to fix exactly what you've got on there first to start, in my opinion. Now, the one thing I will say about frequency of war, though, is, depending on matchmaking and rewards, maybe, or maybe even just boosts. If they fix boosts, that could help, because you're like, look, I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit, I'm going to be done. I don't have to watch. I'm done. Tag me if you need me and I'll check later. I don't need to watch to see if I'm going to boost somebody.
Right.
So, but it is frustrating to basically finish and then 24 hours later, you're like, oh, again, really? Like, all right.
Valley, what do you think?
Yeah, the frequency, I don't mind it, but if they got rid of the boost, that would eliminate a lot. Holding teams, waiting for the person to be on. Like, I got a team with no boost. Let me get on and fight that. So I think that would solve that. And then I think I don't know. The issue we have is we go right through the boost nowadays, and it doesn't matter. And we're having to constantly watch because we're full clearing each other, and we got to watch to make sure that we're not there. So for us, I don't think it would make that much of a difference with the boost.
Right.
But I know a lot of people do that. We used to do that, but nowadays not as much. Frequency, yeah, they could just tone it down a little, up the rewards, and tone down the frequency to match.
Yeah, I do think that the reward structure really needs to be reevaluated, and look, they did just recently change the reward structure, and it was a step in the right direction. And we'll actually talk about that a little bit later. But I would prefer that they fix some of the common community complaints before introducing something new. And 91 people agreed and said yes, they would prefer that. 16 people said no, and 7 said, seriously, dude, stop asking about Alliance Leagues.
Or they could do it at the same time, so they don't need to do it before. They could just fix everything at once.
And they could. I guess the purpose behind the intent behind the question was, I don't want to hear about them putting effort into Alliance League and not hear effort of, hey, we're looking at these game mechanics as well.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into the Alliance War season. I wish I knew what season number we were in.
Oh, that's a good point. I wish they did number those. That'd be nice.
It would be really nice. I mean, they run every 2 weeks. We could probably backtrack to.
It was like around 12. No, that would be too much. That'd be 24.
No, I mean, Alliance War has been going on.
Maybe about 12.
Since 12. What, March? February? March?
Man, I don't remember. I'd have to look.
I don't remember. You guys were in the beta, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I got lucky enough to be in the Alliance War beta.
Oh, so for you, it was running since December. January.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of late to the Alliance War beta. I wasn't one of the early adopters. It was more towards the end of that. Because
how good has it become since that? Because that was pretty rough.
Honestly, it's really right around the same.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, there were some. Like I said, I came in late to Alliance War beta, so maybe they had ironed out a lot of the issues. But
by the way, March 27th. was when it got introduced to the community. So, just under 5 months, 4 months, 4 months and a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Transform 16. Okay, so we're close to about 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Or a little
So I would
more.
say we're Anyway, I would love. We need.
About
You know what?
the
We need
eighth
to. We
season.
need to contact Cerebro and be like, dude, we need Alliance War season numbering at this point.
Who's the week?
So anyway, how did your alliance do last season in Alliance War Valley? Top 10, top 50, top 100.
Well, 1 to 3%.
1 to 3%. Okay. Wolver, how about you?
We were actually top 100 last season.
Nice.
Alliance War? Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Very nice.
All because of, but again, so this is one of the things that has to do
Wait.
with matchmaking. If we played Valley's Alliance, they would smoke us because I think they're at least 10 million higher than we are. But I think we got some decent matchmaking up front because the season before that, we were even top 1 to 3%. I think we ended up top 4 to 10% because our matchups were anywhere from 6 to 11 million the entire season. So I think there was some sort of makeup there.
Wow.
Yeah.
But still, congrats to you guys. We were top 1 to 3. So, well, congratulations. We're all in top end alliances. Yay, us.
Yeah.
But listenership was kind of split up. I mean, everybody pretty much was within the top 25. So 28 people were in the top 4 to 10%. 27 people were in the top 1 to 3%. 26 people were in the top 11 to 25%. 11 2 26 to 50. 6 51 to 75. 7 other, which is like above 75%. 2 top 10s. So we've got a couple of top 10 listeners. Yay, us. 4 top 50 and 3 top 100. The next question really kind of gets to the heart of the matter, though.
This is tough.
Do you enjoy Alliance War? Yes, no, or I don't care one way or the other. Wolver, start with you.
It's funny. I literally, as I was reading this question, leaned back in my chair and said, man, this is tough. Because I'm obviously torn. I like Alliance War. What I don't like about it is how much it requires to be in the game. And I'm the leader of my alliance, so it takes even more effort. And I love the game. I love the community, but I'm not trying to spend as much time as I am already in this game. I want to decrease my time, but have as much fun. So that's where I get torn with Alliance War. Yes, I enjoy it, but I feel like it takes up too much of my time.
Okay, Valley.
I'm in the same boat. I enjoy Alliance War, but I also enjoy my free time. I enjoy, spending time with my family. And I feel like if I'm doing that, sometimes I'm letting my alliance down, and I'm like, oh, I got to play this game real quick. So I don't like that. I don't like feeling like I have to play this game when I don't have time for it. But when I have time, yeah, I love Alliance War. It's fun.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Competing in it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of games that I play. But our Alliance War drops at like 7 o'clock at night for me. And so it's like, man, really? Come on. And it's the constant pings of, hey, go this side, go that side, hit this room. And it's just like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm spending time with family. I got other stuff to do. Yeah. But overall, I do enjoy Alliance War. I think it's a lot of fun. I love pitting, my teams against other people, coming up with strategies. I love seeing a team and then just taking in like Ant-Man and Wasp and kind of crushing them. And it's a lot of fun. Some of us may have 5 red star Ant-Mans.
You know what? I think I do, actually.
A majority of people do like Alliance War that responded. So 60 respondents said yes, 37 said no, and then 17 said they don't care. Give me the grab bag. And then the next question was, do you believe that Alliance War is in a good state? Yes, no, or neither yes nor no?
I think it has potential. It has so much potential. There are some bugs like the time that it takes to be competitive. So fixing that boosting system, the matchmaking, I'm not sure what the solution to that could be. Maybe this leagues is the solution for that. But when they're trying to accommodate 4 different time zones, there's only so many alliances that fit in each time zone. So I don't know what else they could do with the matchmaking other than what they might be bringing with leagues. So
that's interesting.
There's some changes that they could make, definitely.
Yeah, I still say that they need to do away with this staggered start time and have if you did away with boosts, you could have everybody start at the same time. And it would alleviate a lot of problems. Like Galaxy of Heroes does this, and they've been doing it successfully for a long time with Territory Wars. And the mechanics here are nearly identical. And so I know it can be done, and I know it can be done well. So I personally think the Alliance War I don't think it's in a good state. I think it's in an okay state. And I think it definitely has room for improvement and could be better with just a few relatively minor tweaks. Wolver, what about you?
Well, I want to ask you about that Galaxy. I don't.
Territory Wars is a very different game mode.
No, it's not.
Very, very different.
No, Territory Wars is nearly Territory Wars and Alliance Wars are to an extent identical. You set defenses in territories, aka rooms, and then other people come attack your territories, aka rooms, and they can only get to the next territory by beating the current territory.
Are there any like global buffs though that if you lose one...
there are in some Territory Wars. There are like faction buffs, but they're so minor nobody really cares about them.
I think that's a big difference.
The room buffs and the boosts is the thing that makes it a big difference on that.
Because like
you don't have that in there.
So right, and that's what I'm saying though is that you don't need those for a successful mode.
So you would just eliminate the room boost. You would eliminate.
I don't think I have a problem with the boosts. The boosts are fine. I think that adds because you can move the rooms around and you can change how the boosts are set. Basically.
Okay, but if we're talking about time here, that eliminates a whole lot of strategy, which I like. But that's also going to eliminate a lot of time too, because it's not as important to be on right at the start.
Exactly.
To eliminate that armory first. So if you eliminate that would eliminate a lot of time and people having to be on at a certain time for Alliance Wars. But with that, you take out a lot of the strategy that comes with Alliance Wars that I like.
You do, and when you have those global boosts like the armory, if you're going up against a hyper-competitive guild that basically decides to nuke your armory as early as possible, and you have people that can't get on for a while, that does put you behind the 8 ball.
Right.
But it's a decision. It's a game decision in your alliance of how competitive you want to be at Alliance War to that hyper competitive level where you're going to go hunt and destroy like at the beginning to find the armory. And look,
you guys are hyper competitive, and obviously you guys talked about attrition in your alliances and stuff previously. Obviously, not everybody's happy with all the time that this Alliance War is taking. So
Correct.
is eliminating some of the strategy worth that trade-off to keep the player base?
That's a good question. That is a great question.
I think that's a delicate balance, right? Because not everybody comes here for Alliance Wars. If Alliance Wars was the game, we could have that. I think the strategy takes precedent over the player base. But Alliance War isn't the game. It's a big aspect of the game, and I think that it's okay to sacrifice some strategy for player retention.
You know what I'd be interested to see if you switch Blitz back to 6-hour cooldown and make raids less often and more rewards. What would people feel about Alliance War the way it is?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because what you just said is a good point. It's not the only part of the game, but the problem is there's so many different like plates you can choose from. It's like, man, you're like gorging yourself.
And you're doing it concurrently too.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked about this before 2 weeks ago, or a few weeks ago when we had Ultimate 7. We had 5 raids going at once. We had an Alliance War going on at once, and there was some blitz that I was actually caring about. So we had another blitz that I had to play on that Monday evening, and it's just it's not the only thing, but it's a big part of the time sink.
Yeah, no, I mean it's that's the way I feel about Odyssey, and that's where I'm like, there was a point when Alliance War first came out, I looked at my screen time on my phone and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This isn't humanly possible. And I'm like, this has to change. This has to change. And a big part of it was me helping the Alliance understand our approach and our strategy, et cetera. So it's decreased since then. But it's just like, God, there's so many different things. And I don't know. I mean, it's like, I think, Dorian, I think you mentioned it. You choose then, the player chooses. What do you want to do? You want to keep playing or not? It's up to you. The game is what it is.
Yeah. No, it is, unfortunately. And so somebody in chat actually asked for a Scream Time update. I haven't done that since Ultron. Last 7 days, I've only put in 10 hours into the game. That feels nice. Total.
Oof.
That feels really good.
I'll look at mine as you guys are talking about this right now. I'm kind of scared to see.
I'm not looking at mine.
I'm not looking at mine. Alex like, no, I'm in denial.
Dude,
I'm not in denial. I'm in not wanting to know.
Yeah, it's. Oh my God. Marvel Strike Force. My average. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Oh my God.
Spill it.
Okay. My daily average. Now, I will preface this by saying I am off work, recovering from surgery.
That's fair.
But my daily average is 5 hours and 49 minutes per day.
In Marvel?
In Marvel
or
Strike
total?
Force only. No, per day.
Wow.
That's per day. And that doesn't even include if I'm on BlueStacks, which is, not a lot. I'm not on BlueStacks a lot, but that's just insane.
That is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God. In the last week it's 41 hours and 24 minutes.
I've only been on Strike Force 21 minutes today. Sorry, Evan.
Anyway, I'm not a good example of this. Like I said, I'm off of work right now. But even when I was on work, I will say that it was high. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's because there's so many things just going on, and
there really are. And today, like, I got really busy at work, and then as soon as I left work early because I got really sick to my stomach today. Came home and napped for a couple hours, and then shortly after my family came home, I was out running all night until right before the show. Oh. So that's why, like, today, like, no time. Normally the evenings is my big time, or if I'm not busy at work, I'll just sit and while I'm doing stuff, I'll just have it autoing different things.
Yeah. It's funny, when I first started playing the game, the reason that I started doing YouTube videos is because I figured out a way to play like 3 times a day. But it had to do with the when the blitzes were, when you could do 6-hour cooldowns. And that was like one of my first videos, was trying to explain, hey, this is a way you can play this game, blah, blah, blah. But the game's changed so dramatically since then, it's impossible.
Right.
So I'd love to be more closer to that, but I'm not sure it'll ever go that way.
Yeah. So let's finish this out real quick. So the community, 74 people said no, they don't think Alliance War is in a good state. 15 people said yes, and 25 people said neither yes nor no. And then our final question, our last one before we get to the grab bag, which will be held till later in the show. If you could change one thing about Alliance War, what would it be? Frequency, matchmaking, boosts, other, nothing, or I don't care about Alliance War and have no opinion. Valley, over to you. Go.
Why don't you have an answer there for all of it? I want all of it.
Because I said if you could change one thing.
Yes.
One thing.
All of it.
Nope. The question is one thing. You're allowed one thing.
One thing. Get rid of boosts.
Okay. Wolver.
I was leaning the same direction. Boosts.
I'm torn between boosts and frequency. I think I could live with boosts if I only had to do it once, maybe twice a week.
That's fair.
But I don't think I could do 3 times a week and have boosts. So I could go either way on that one, but I'm going to lead more towards the frequency.
Okay.
I think twice a week is good. And some people wanted like other here to be like rewards. They would like rewards to be changed. I did not include rewards because we just got a reward increase not too long ago, and I think that it was okay. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but it was something. And I think it's a step in the right direction, and I hope that we see more. But, it is something that we just recently got. 46 people would rather see the frequency. 28 said the boosts. 26 said matchmaking. 10 said other. 2 said nothing. They like Alliance War the way it is! And then 2 said they don't care and have no opinion. And guys, that's our listener survey for episode 44. Thanks to everybody who participates in that. We really appreciate it. Guys, was there anything about the survey that we didn't hit upon that you want to mention before we move on?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
In the
Yeah,
topic list, I know we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's move into some of the news for the week. So, we've already really kind of covered the update 3.4. We've kind of covered the Alliance Leagues. We might come back to that a bit, but let's start with there was some kind of big snafus this past week, right? We've had some store issues. The make goods aren't working properly, followed by more store issues. Did either of you guys get to buy the vulture orbs for $1.99?
I did. Oh, not the orbs. I got the shards when it was supposed to be released.
Okay.
I bought 2 of them, so 100 shards for $1.99 times 2.
Yeah, I wish I'd have waited. Wolver, what about you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Valley. I didn't see the shard off or the orb offer, but I definitely bought both shard offers.
Yeah, so I uninstalled my game and installed from the Amazon App Store to take advantage of that when somebody told me about it for my Alliance, and I think it was Nightwing. So shout out to Nightwing for letting us know about that. And so I took advantage of it, and I was like, okay. I opened them up. I like out of 10 orbs, I want to say I got like 72 shards. Like, oh.
That's brutal.
It was horrible, man. It was like 6 after 6 after 6 after 6. I think I got, 7 6s, an 8, and a 12, and I think one more.
I would be
like
angry.
8 6s.
I would be angry if I had that kind of luck.
But I only spent $5 or $4, right?
That's true.
I can't be that angry for $4 and basically getting nearly a 3-star vulture. So
Yeah, that's true.
and I don't blitz, so I just kind of blitz and chill. And so like I'm like almost to tier 14 this blitz, and I got him to 3 stars. I'm like, okay, I'm for $4, I'm okay with that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
But everybody else did get the 100 shards.
Right. And I think that but I'm sure there are people out there that got the $1.99 deal that may have gotten the 180 shards. Right?
They probably did. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it all averages out. It all works out at the end of the day. I just, my thing is, then it comes back, no pun intended, there's an offer with the thing showing for $1.99.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dorian, how is your thing?
I haven't even unlocked him yet because I haven't even started the campaign.
Oh.
So you're saying you haven't touched the thing yet?
Nope. Haven't touched the thing. Haven't touched
How's
the
your
thing.
jugs? See 7 stars?
I'm more of a hand assassin guy myself.
And it was at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that the podcast went off the rails.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's Valley's.
I know it's Valley's fault.
GWO, baby. We're taking over tonight.
So, I don't know if we're going to see. Do you guys think we'll see any compensation for the $1.99 thing offer?
I would expect.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Depends if people have that they bought it. I would buy the thing for $1.90.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing they did with Vulture, honestly.
Maybe somebody had mentioned that in our Alliance chat. I think it was Nightwing again, and I was kind of like, maybe. Yes, they've set the precedent, but if you read Cerebro's post on Reddit when saying they were going to do this, they also said don't expect compensation every time.
Yeah.
So he set himself up to give himself an out.
It's just making something available to sell to us. It's not. It's people wanting to spend money. You're letting people spend money in your game. Ooh, Foxneck, you're making money.
Yeah.
Release the Kraken.
Right, and I understand, but at the same time, so if you walk into a grocery store and you see something that's normally $19.99 on sale for $1.99, and you take it up there and you buy it for $1.99, and you fight with them and say, "Hey, look, it's for $1.99 here," and then they go change it to $19.99 so that everybody else that comes through has to buy it at $19.99. I mean, that's just how it works. Just because it's at $1.99 accidentally because somebody mispriced it on the staple gun or whatever, the price gun, doesn't mean that everybody should get that same offer.
Okay, but we're talking about a grocery store and a game that there's a definite competitive advantage, right? Don't you think that everybody should be entitled to that same advantage, entitled to that same offer?
I'm honestly torn on it. You're right. The competitive advantage point is something that I don't think about from time to time because I'm not a spender. I've accepted the fact that I'm not going to be hyper competitive in this game because I don't spend thousands of dollars.
But if you got a chance to spend $4, I think there would be a lot of people that would want to do that. And if those people that got to do that and other people that didn't, that compromises the integrity of the game.
So I think the problem is that. And you make some very valid points, and I agree with you there that for competitive nature of the game, I'll change my stance, and I think that
Come on,
I think
you're
that
supposed
it should
to be the
be
one attacking Fox next, not me.
See what I'm doing here, Valley? This is called psychology.
Flip the script.
Reverse psychology, and I'm flipping the script on you, buddy. So I'll acquiesce to that point. I think that's a valid point, and that for the competitive nature of the game, you're right. When you have pay to win mechanics, then everybody needs to have an opportunity to get the same thing.
Yes, that's it.
But unfortunately, there's still problems where the Google Play people don't get the Vulture offer.
So they're bringing it back, and then I could buy it again. So that's kind of a problem, also.
I hope not. And I'm gonna take a look, right? Because look, like I said, I bought it, and I'm gonna be looking for it because if I can buy another 100 shards, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And $4 is nothing. I mean, that's nothing. So
this is like a $50 offer if you compare it to Foxneck's pricing.
Right. We are saving 90%. This is a 90% off, man. Oh man. So we are also going through right now the Marvel 80th anniversary. And as part of this, I had shut down. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the dev blog here. They're going to be doing a 1-day gold campaign increase. Woohoo!
But that's just in the campaigns, right?
Yeah, it says here that they have a new 1-day event heading to the campaign soon, which will allow you to earn increased gold from campaign nodes. I really think
they should have done.
They're so stingy.
They should have done. Made it 80% in your gold orbs, and then sell a crap load of gold orbs.
What do you say? What do you mean by that? What are you saying?
So whatever we get into gold orbs, what is the minimum? 90 or whatever?
Yeah.
Increase that by 80, and increase the 3 million by 80. Do it that, and then have a sale for gold orbs.
There you go.
That
honestly would have been better.
Fox next, not this stupid campaign thing.
Well, yeah, but see, with the campaign thing, they can sell cores.
But honestly, when I saw that, I'm not going to do that.
If it was such a value like this,
Yeah.
if it was a good value, but I would buy a crap load of them.
Yeah, and we're going to
bring back some of those mistake offers that they had. You know how much money they'd make in 1 day for that? The 80th anniversary comp. Make use of it. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, I get so tired of the 1-day events. 1 day only. It's just oof. That's such garbage. Because what if people are busy, right? What if people don't get a chance and they're not able to log in that day? They just completely miss out because of life. I don't think it's very fair. But what else are they going to be doing here? So, oh boy, we're going to have some Blitz and Orb milestones starting August 22nd.
I like the Blitz milestones.
Yeah.
You'd have to Blitz, man. I don't Blitz.
I do play Blitz, so I kind of like them.
There's going to be a Marvel Anniversary Orb, which is going to have Namor as at a higher drop rate.
Okay.
I hope that's not the only way they're going to release him.
I don't know. It says it's going to contain marking characters and feature Namor at a higher drop rate. So,
it's the War God.
Yeah, I know it's semi off topic, but I think that the Namor release will be a milestone like Mysterio too.
Probably. I don't know. I still feel that the milestone. I worked out the math, and you actually spent more energy per gold for those milestones than you did for. Or I'm sorry, you spent more points per milestone than you did for the other ones. Sure, you got more, but you spent more to get there. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a huge fan of those. I know they said more difficult, but they didn't make it more difficult. They just made it longer. It's not always more difficult. We are getting the Magneto Legendary coming back. Yeah, actually, I'll be able to get him to 6-star, so that'll be nice. I'm not gonna be able to get him to 7-star, but I still got to get Mystique up to 7 stars, and she may be lucky to get 6-star.
Yeah, her farm is a pain.
Her farm's a pain, and Pyro's. I mean, I can't justify spending war credits on Pyro. I want to, but I need that gear. I need that gear.
Yeah.
Come to the dark side.
No, I need the gear, man. I need the gear. Until I get Ultron to T13, I'm not spending anything but gear.
Yep,
then I might consider it.
That's the right thing.
Yeah. Do you have all your orange? What is those green things? What does he need? Adamantium.
Adamantium. Yes, I've been hoarding adamantium. I've not taken Captain Marvel needs adamantium. I'm not putting it on her yet. I think I've got 18, so I'm almost close to having 2 full sets, which would be nice because then I'll probably take Captain Marvel up to tier 13 because she's fun to play with.
She's amazing.
She's so good.
How many red stars do you have on her?
We don't talk about red stars in this show, Valley.
Oh, sorry.
We do not talk about the evil that is the red stars. Actually, that's a really good question. I can't remember.
I've got 3. How much do you have, Valley?
I got 5.
Oh, are you kidding?
Wow, that's crazy.
She's at 67K.
Oh my god.
I have.
She's on my arena team. She has to have some good power.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've got 3 red stars on her, but she's only 5-star for me.
Okay.
So,
how many yellow stars, Valley, on yours?
6.
Okay.
Man, I am only 2 gear pieces away from getting Ultron maxed out. Ugh.
Almost there, brother.
Almost there. Man, I'm getting so tired of all these ads.
Come and play Blitz with us, too. Come play Blitz with us.
Why? Why? I like my life.
For those Hulk shards.
Oof. Oh, that's right, buddy. You need those Hulk shards.
One day he'll be big.
Doubtful. Very doubtful.
Oh, come on now.
And then we're getting the Gamma raids back. Yippee.
Colossus is in there, right? Colossus is in those orbs. So is Psylocke, right?
Brawler Colossus is not in those.
Who is in there? Psylocke is in there?
Psylocke's in there.
Right. That's the one that I like, right?
Yeah, but So is a monstrosity.
Oh, is he already 7-star for you?
Of course. He's 7-star level 70, man.
Ah, so those are just ultimate shards for you.
Yeah, those are just ultimate shards for me.
So Captain Marvel, who is in there? That's interesting. America Chavez is also interesting.
Yeah, I don't care about her.
Well, obviously you don't have a hero brawler team if you don't care about her.
I do have a hero brawler team. I just don't care for America Chavez.
Well, that's understandable, but she's very good on a hero brawler team.
Oh, I'm sure. No, absolutely. I mean, she's like a mini nuke. She's part of that mini nuke club with Deadpool and Gamora. But I've split up my brawlers to where I don't run Spider-Verse. So my brawler team consists of Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, both Spider-Mans, and Gamora maybe. Okay, so I run that in Blitz, and it's a good enough team that it.
That'll win. That's a good team.
So, let's see. Sorry,
I mean, you know how Captain Marvel
sons just walked in.
What
one of my sons just walked in, so he's getting something to drink.
What's up, brother? How are you?
He can't hear you. They can't hear you. I've got headphones on. But I'm sure they said, "What's up, brother? How are you?"
Tired.
He's tired because it's almost midnight here.
Oh my! It's almost midnight here too.
Well, yeah. We're both in Central Time.
Nice.
What you guys talking about? 9? It's not even 10 o'clock.
So we got the return of the gamma raids. It's going to have Vulture in those orbs now, which is nice. But at the same time, I don't like the dilution of these orbs. I'll have to see if they took any other people out. But one of the things in this game that a lot of people don't take into consideration, why these orbs just get worse and worse and worse, is that as you keep adding people in, the odds of pulling a character drop. And just, you got to make some changes somewhere. Like, maybe you got to pull minions out of something. And
I think Wolverine should be in every orb.
Wolverine should be in every orb. He should be. He absolutely should be.
Kind of a hard farm there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so look at it from this perspective, because I was talking to Mobile Gamer about this a little bit, and he was talking about catch-up mechanics, and the only real catch-up mechanic we have right now in the game is premium orbs. That's pretty much it, because they're really, really good when you first get them, and they're not as good later on. So I kind of feel that this is kind of their catch mechanic by adding Black Panther, some shards that players that have been playing for a long time, it means nothing. They're adding these orbs that mean very little as a way to help these newer players kind of catch up.
Yeah, and look, I think that's fine, but I think that needs to be for the lower tier of the raids, not for tier 4. Tier 4, we should not be getting some of these more easily farmed characters.
That makes sense. Yeah, because the only people that can play tier 4 is the ones that have been playing for a while that don't need any of these. But
right.
It still kind of stifles our progress, which sucks to us, but for a newer player, it might not be the worst thing. So.
But the problem is that as more in-game level players, we kind of push the game. And if you stifle it for us and we quit, I mean, think of where are your whales? Your whales aren't your newer players. Your whales are your in-game players. And they are not, if they're not spending money to complete a raid because there's no point to it, then they're going to start losing interest and start going elsewhere.
Yep. I've actually wondered that lately, where I've looked at what I'm doing in game, and I don't consider myself a whale. I've spent a chunk of money, but not whale territory. And I'm thinking about these people who spend thousands of dollars on the game, and I'm like, what are they doing right now? I'm like, do they really need that many more T4 mats where they're going to push to the end of these Greek raids? I'm like, I just don't see it. I'm like, I don't know why they'd even want to do that.
No, there's not a lot of incentive to spend to clear these Greek raids at 100% right now. But
yeah, and that I think is a problem.
Obviously, Foxnex disagrees, which is why they keep this weird strategy that they're using. So.
Well, that or people are still, here's the thing. Spenders are going to spend, right? Mm-hmm. And these guys are going to spend 100% to stay on top of the leaderboards. Mm-hmm. And that's going to screw over everybody else.
They don't need to spend, though. The raids are not that hard if you got the top end rosters.
Have you guys been watching the raid season leaderboards lately, though?
No, I don't pay attention to those things anymore.
So we always talk about Cabal and Pants of Hulk, right? That's not who's up there. It's Legion of Powers #1 and Pants of Hulk Shadows #2. So
it's still alliances in their cluster.
Right, but I'm talking about the two main whale alliances, right? Technically, Cabal and Pants of Hulk are the main whale one. And I don't know. I'm not in their clusters. Valley, you might know better than I do. But to me, I've looked at this recently, and I'm like, where are they? Like, it looks like they don't even care about the raids at all. I'm like scrolling, and I'm like at 25, and I don't see.
No, but you look who's at the top of the raids. You said that it's two alliances within their cluster, so.
Right, but I'm purely
they're letting other people
exactly
get the rewards.
That's
in their same cluster. So
that's what I'm saying is that so those whales are to the point where they're like, look, you guys, we're not going to force this. We don't need to run. We've got T4s. You guys go get your T4 to help their cluster out to be better. But the actual main and look, I don't know if Pants of Hulk Shadow is the same type of whale as Pants of Hulk, but Pants of Hulk regular is willing to just not even be. I can't even find them. They're not even the top 25.
60. They're at 60 at the moment. Oh no, I'm sorry. Cabal's at 60, not Pants of Hulk.
Yeah, so they're both obviously doing exactly what Valley just said, which tells me they're just like waiting for something to incentivize them to do in these raids, and it's like, I don't know. I think that, and I hope that, Fox Next finds something to kind of expand the game a little bit to make it so that those alliances really do push that.
And there's a balance too, because when they did expand it was way too hard.
Yeah.
Last time that what was it? The betas? Is it gammas? I get confused.
The last gamma they tuned it
way
too hard.
Yeah, so there is balance. If you make it way too hard, then it's not fun either. So and then you make it easy, it's like it's easy. So
Evan in chat makes a really, really good point. With Cabal sitting at 60, I agree with him here. That's more than just sharing, because you can still be a top end alliance in the top 10 or top 5 and let one of your sister alliances compete and get the top rewards.
Yeah.
When you're sitting at 60 and you're Cabal, you guys are just in cruise mode.
Yeah. Maybe they're taking a break. I mean, I'm not.
Well, it is the raids. It's not like it's war. War, they're always going to finish on top.
Right.
Just because of the collection power, I don't think mathematically it's possible for them to not finish on top every single time. But for raids, you could auto Ultima 6, and I'm sure with their rosters they could auto the Greek raids as well. So
yeah, but they're not. That's kind of the thing. If they're sitting at 60,
they could if they wanted to. When Ultima 7 came around, there was a big competition between those two alliances. So
right,
but if they want to, they can.
Okay, the key there though, Valley, is why don't they want to? Right, you keep saying they want to. If they want to, the game should be pushing them to want to.
Right.
If they don't want to, why should we want to? See kind of where I'm going with that? It's not that they can't, it's that they're not. And why aren't they?
That's the point. What is more important to Fox Next? The newer players, letting them catch up, or keeping their older players, like all of us on this chat, happy? And it appears that it's trying to build up their newer player base. So that's just, I don't know. It doesn't make me happy as someone that wants to play these things and be competitive, but it's the strategy they're choosing.
Yeah, I don't know. Jesus Loves You brings up a good point here that at rank 60 they're getting the same as they are at rank 4, which is a valid point, but I don't know. It just feels feels wrong.
Yeah, so and to me the way, and I don't remember, one of you guys I think made this point where it's like they could be rank 2 though. And that's 100 more T formats. And if I was them and I was sharing, so to speak, I'd go, look, you go get one, but I'm getting 2 or 3. And if Pants of Hulk beats me, if I'm Cabal and Pants of Hulk beats me at 2, I'm making sure I get 3. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just, and I don't know how many T4s they have. Maybe they're just overflowing in them.
Yeah, I don't know. It like I said, it just strikes me as wrong. But I don't want to dwell on it too much.
Yeah,
maybe they just don't care. Honestly, maybe they're just whatever raids, whatever. On Fantastic Four, that's what they're playing for.
Yeah,
and maybe they're saving up their money for Fantastic Four. I don't know. But we did get information that the group blitz is coming back, which means, and they said in here that his buddy Star-Lord isn't too far away. What do you guys think of this? Because Shuri came out and had her event before the last Star-Lord event, but we haven't seen Shuri come back.
I've been waiting for Shuri.
No.
When is Shuri getting
No.
Well, she should have her second event, right? Because that was back in August. April.
Who
Right.
you talking
Shuri.
The
about?
first Shuri event. It was
You
in
guys,
April, right?
you guys are both evil, nasty people.
What are you talking about? It was in April.
Flip picked up on it. Sorry,
I get
Dorian,
on Hebrew. I get
sorry.
on Hebrew every week for that. I keep
What?
going.
I was saying it correctly.
Okay.
Sorry, Dorian.
All right, so, hold on. There was a date of mine that Star-Lord is coming next week. So
Yeah.
it's
So
probably coming.
I mean, I'm not upset because I'm going to have him at 7-star finally. Though I have to take. I think I have to pay for Stitcher.
Ooh, that hurts. Well, maybe not, depending on what Invisible Woman's unlock is, but he's a good 7-star though, so that'll be nice.
Yeah. And it also depends on what they do for this group blitz, because my Groot is at 255 of 300.
So you need top
Might have to
15.
play Blitz.
Oh, no.
Well,
No.
You'll definitely be there.
How many do you-
there?
Yeah, because milestones alone get you what, like 20
Two or
shards?
something like that. I think it's 20.
I thought it was like 15. Is it
Okay.
20?
It used to be 15. It's a weird number now. I think it's
Yeah.
22.
I'll kind of look.
You might as well just go top 1500 though, Dorian. You know it's not going to be a very big score. You could hit it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look.
I believe in you. You could do it. Show the people that you can blitz.
No.
It's 21 shards.
Do
You
it
get
for
21.
Star-Lord. Do it for Star-Lord.
No, because I have Stitcher's credits. I have Stitcher's shards all ready to go. I'm
But you're
not
gonna
wasting
use
my
it.
life
Just
on
get
Blitz.
Groot. Just get Groot.
No, I'm good.
Spend another $5 and buy a pack. And hopefully get
Hey,
one.
look, if they shows up, I'll buy it for $5.
It will. It shows up every blitz, right?
Right? Not for $5. It doesn't.
Oh, buy $5 in cores and open one.
So Evan wanted us to hit on something in the Marvel 80th anniversary that I kind of skipped over. Not only is that calendar that's coming up for the 80th anniversary, they're doing a login calendar, and it's going to feature shards for some iconic Marvel characters. It's also going to have Red Star promotion credits.
That's good.
Yeah.
Which they say here you can use to increase a specific character's Red Star level.
I mean, I was going to mention it earlier, but I thought we weren't allowed to talk about Red Star.
Yeah, we're not,
so
but
I didn't bring it up.
I think that's. I mean, look, it depends on how many Red Star promotion credits we're going to get. I mean, if you get enough for a 3 Red Star character, great. I'd prefer at least enough for a 4 Red Star. I keep telling people, do not waste your Elite Orb tickets on promotion credits. Don't
Totally
do
agree.
it. Don't do it. But
Sometimes though.
if they, you know, Evan brings, you know, he's typing it out like right as I'm thinking it. If they start giving us promotion credits through other systems that aren't the Elite tickets, and that could be huge.
Yeah.
They would have to. They need to progress the game. Right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
They need to do that.
Or they just bring out green
You
stars.
gotta get looser with your rewards as the game gets older and older.
Yes, typically, but I don't. It's kind of a tough thing because we're only a year and a half into this game. It's hard to believe that, to be honest. From everything that's happened over the past year and a half.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Oof, yeah, fun. We need to make sure we're on working from the same definition of words here, because I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Nightly gaming is so fun.
Inconceivable.
Oh, God.
Hey,
Hey,
Dorian,
hey, Valley.
how
Wait,
you
wait.
doing?
No, Valley. How you doing?
See, everybody gets a laugh. It is fun. See, I got you. I got you to laugh. I heard
No,
it.
I do. No, it's because Hebrew's going to wind up listening to the show. So, how you doing, Hebrew? He hates that. I may have just made him shut off the episode.
Oh no.
So yeah, I do want to make sure to note here that if we're getting the Red Star promotion credits, that will be nice. Again, I want to see what the calendar is going to look like to see how many of these that we're going to get. The calendar is going to go live on August 10th. So if anybody in Futureland. See, I wonder if it's going to be live for everybody on the same day, August 10th, or same time, August 10th, or if it's going to be flip over August 10th.
It's a calendar.
Hey, I just got 5 Captain Marvel shards.
Oh,
Freaking
Hey.
fantastic, man. Yeah,
I think
the
it's going to be
calendars-
Futureland.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet. I haven't seen anything from Futureland, so I'll check in the morning, but. I'll be interested to see how many total promotion credits we're going to get for this calendar.
I'm guessing it's going to be maximum 50. Max.
Probably. That's a
4
4-star, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, if I can get one 4-star character, I can finally get Daredevil to 4-star.
Yeah.
I mean, there are probably other characters, but my 7-star Daredevil, who is my one of my favorite characters of all time, has
You gotta
0
get him
red
to show
stars.
up in the shop.
0.
You gotta get him to show up in the shop.
But doesn't it only give you, doesn't the store only give you the option of one more red star than what you currently have?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, so it's okay. See, even that, I'm like 50 credits to increase by 1 red from 3 to 4. It's like,
Yeah, and then you have to have a character at 3. I don't know. I've done a couple videos on these. I'd never finished because I've kind of stopped doing videos, but I can't keep up with you guys. I mean, you guys are big dogs, right?
Valley's the one.
I mean, we honestly have royalty in the house with Valley here tonight. So, so yeah, the Star-Lord Legendary is coming back. Valley, I want to hit on something that I think you touched on recently in one of your videos, is the Sue Storm Legendary rumors. And so there's been a data mine showing that she may very well be a 7-star unlock. Subject change.
All the word on the street, all the rumors are that is just a placeholder, and she's 5-star unlock.
I'm hoping that's the case.
I think it's just a placeholder.
And look, that would be great because look, these data mines, they can change really kind of at any time because they're really just JSON files in the configs for the game. So the game can download and update those at any time. It doesn't need a client push for that. But I've heard some rumors about who will be needed for their unlock. Valley, how about you?
That's the interesting question right there.
Right?
Ooh.
Who's going to be
A
required?
7-star unlock would be no problem, depending if it's like Avengers or something. But I don't think it's gonna be Avengers.
I don't either. I really think it's going to wind up being
AIM.
I'd love for it to be AIM. Dude, bring on the 7-star. Bring on the 7-star. AIM minions 7-star. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, baby.
So what have you heard, Valley? Wolver, what have you guys heard?
So much. I mean, every configuration of 5 characters that is out there, I have heard people saying, "Oh, it could be this, it could be this." I talked about it in a video with Combs. He said that he heard it was all legendary characters as the unlock, which I think is kind of cool. Which is why I think they would bring back, after they bring back Star-Lord, maybe bring back this Cherie event. But I think that that would be cool. The other, I know you did. The Sinister Six was another rumor that I've heard as well. So who knows? I mean, a lot of these are claiming to be from really reliable sources, and they're all over the map, man.
Yeah, and so here's the thing to think about, right? We are not getting her for a while. She's been announced, but we're not getting her for a while. Because
That's the other question.
Yeah, I think we're going to get her after the second run of Phoenix.
You think?
Really?
What do you think? What do you think time wise? September, October, maybe?
I think maybe closer to October, because so they've got 4 characters that they've introduced in this update, right? And all 4 of them are, so we've got the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Namor, and Fire, right? Johnny Storm. And those are the 4 in this update. Fire's good. Fire. My God, you got me back into Beavis and Butthead. What is wrong with you? You said fire. So I think those are the 4 that are going to be in this update, and we're not going to see another update for at least what, a month and a half.
That's usually about how long they take.
Okay, so that puts us into September. We know that Phoenix is coming back late September. I think we could be looking at October.
What they said? Is that what they said in an announcement? I know they announced sometime.
It was September.
They said September, but I have a feeling it's going to be mid to late September.
So maybe there is some validity to that rumor about all legendary characters. They bring them all back and then sue. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. So what? Iron Man, Star-Lord, Magneto, Shuri, and Phoenix? No, Shuri. Oof. I hit that mute button so fast. I'm gonna add a squelch in when I go back to edit this every time you say that. Make it sound like I'm gonna bleep it out. So that would be the 5. Fury. Why did I forget Fury?
If the rumor is correct, that would be the 5.
Well, no, don't forget Fury. Right, so Star-Lord, Fury, Magneto,
Phoenix,
Iron Man.
And then Iron Man and Shuri.
Oof. Phoenix and Iron Man. Look, if there are 6 legendaries right now, yeah?
Who's the other one?
Well, okay. So there's Fury. There's Star-Lord. There's Magneto.
Star-Lord, so I'm forgetting. Okay.
There's Iron Man. There's Phoenix. Okay. And then there's Shuri.
So if that might not be the worst thing if it's a 7-star unlock. I mean, how many do you think they're going to target to want to get Invisible Woman on the first run? Because they obviously have a target in their mind, and when that target was exceeded with Phoenix, they extended it to 6 stars. So what do you think their target is?
A first run legendary, I think, should be what, 10% of the player base, maybe 20, maybe.
That's 20 sounds really high.
That's why I said maybe. I feel like a lot of people got Phoenix the first run.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm in a beta arena shard, so I'm not a good judge of what's going on in the game. Global wise, like there may be global launch that I don't know what you're talking about, man. There's no Phoenix in my arena. I just want to be in that arena. But honestly, because I think that if they want to limit it, I don't think the legendaries to unlock is going to be the way to go. I mean, look, if that's the case, fine. I'm going to get a 6-star Invisible Woman, unless it's a 7-star unlock.
Mm-hmm.
But
who would you want it to be?
Ugh. I'm trying to think thematically or thinking from Fox Next point of view.
Thematically got thrown out the window with Spider-Verse.
It's thematically did. I threw such a fit on that. I was like, that's so stupid.
I guess Kree.
Kree for the Nick Fury?
Yeah. Okay, so even before that. But yeah. Who would you want it to be?
Who would I want it to be, or who do I think that Fox Next would choose from a business standpoint?
I guess who would you want it to be within reason, knowing how Fox Next is?
So you realize you just said Reason and Fox Next in the same sentence.
Well, let's say you're Cerebro and you go to Fox Next. This is what it should be. So they're going to have to approve it. So who would you want it to be?
I have a feeling that it's probably going to be closer to Spider-Verse or Sinister. Not Spider-Verse because obviously that's going to be needed for Shuri. But I wouldn't be surprised. See, here's why I don't think the Sinister Six makes sense is because you could then use the Sinister Six to get 2 legendaries.
Uh-huh.
That's why I think Sinister Six is... Huh?
That's why I think it's weird. I agree with you.
I've heard the Sinister Six rumor, and it makes sense from, hey, the Sinister Six was just released. People will buy the Sinister Six because they're not farmable yet, and we'll give them a couple weeks or whatever. From a short-term
perspective, it makes a lot of sense to have a Sinister Six. But from a long-term perspective, you're unlocking 2 legendaries with the same exact group.
Right, and I think that's a problem. And maybe that's why we're not seeing Shuri come back yet.
What do you guys think about
So hold on.
Yeah, go.
Who would you want it to be?
Oh, I want AIM. I want it to be AIM.
Want it to be AIM, okay.
Yeah. Even though AIM weren't really they were kind of a Fantastic Four adversary. They were kind of always wanting to get Reed's tech.
Yes.
That could make sense. I wouldn't mind AIM getting a rework and using AIM to get Invisible Woman.
WolverThor, what about you?
I mean, for some reason I'm stuck on this villain tech support group. I just I don't know. I mean, I look at it with Minerva, Scientist Supreme, Stitcher. Merc Lieutenant's the only one I think everyone's gonna have 7-star.
That's who you would want it to be?
No. I think that's the one that I could see.
You think that's the likeliest?
I think that's the likeliest. I want somebody I have 7 stars on. But the truth is I've got a lot of I've got like 60 plus 7-star tunes. So but I'm also I think, I don't think everybody's in that same boat. So I try to see what's, out there that can be, 5-6 star for most people. And you're looking at that villain tech support group and Scientist Supreme, Minerva, it's like, okay. And then Kree Oracle, if you never really farmed him, he's through the raid store, I think, right? Raid store? I forget, and then Stitcher's one of the stores as well. So that's not a easy group to farm. So I could see, Fox Next using that to go, well, this is going to help us make some money, But I think I heard some interesting like protector ones with like Hulk and Colossus, and I forget exactly what it was. I liked that one too, as far as a possibility. And when I say I mean like that's a likely chance or likely group that Fox Next would pick. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think Sinister Six got thrown out the window with the double legendary thing. It just wouldn't make any sense. So the legendary idea is interesting, and someone said it in the chat. But would you use that concept to unlock, Invisible Woman? But at the same time, if you wait too long, everyone's going to have 5-7-star legendaries, so you can then never use that idea.
You use it once.
Yeah, exactly, and so maybe this is that time.
It could be, or it could be a bigger character, maybe like a Doctor Doom or Dr. Octopus or something.
You know what I'd like is if
Galactus.
They did this. Yeah, and they make it super hard though. So like even if you have it at 7 yellow stars, you need like 4 to 5 red stars, and it's still hard. And you've got to really theory craft and work on it and think through it, where it's like it's not an easy unlock. Make it a little bit grindy. Obviously that will upset some people, but I also think that's part of what you want a little bit. You got to have that carrot.
I think down the road, I think 1.5 years in might be a little soon for that. Maybe I think maybe 2.5 mark.
Yeah.
Might be a good time for that. Just, yeah.
So I don't know. Did you say who you thought it would be?
There was a combo with Cosmic Heroes, and I can't remember the whole thing that someone threw out in my alliance, and I kind of like that because it includes the Fantastic Four.
I think
So I kind of like that idea of having the Fantastic Four kind of in that mix there. So I'm trying to find exactly what it was.
Yeah, boy, if it was a cosmic hero, I would love that, depending on who it was.
Yeah, it was filtered down a little more because there's a bunch of cosmic heroes, but it was something that required the Fantastic Four. I think it's kind of cool to have them.
And Captain Marvel too, right?
Yeah, Captain Marvel's in there.
Who was that?
Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Cable, Thor, Mantis,
Bio?
Groot. Hey, you can't do bio. There's only a.
No, I mean Cosmic Hero Bio. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be too upset with Cosmic Hero Bio.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Cosmic Hero Bio, because then you have to have one of the Fantastic Fours as the unlock. I kind of like that, because if you don't have them at 5 stars, they're not going to be as valuable, and you need the Invisible Woman for that. So for that team, you're going to need to build up Fantastic Four anyway. So I kind of like Cosmic Hero Bio.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because you've got to figure most people don't have Captain Marvel much above 5, maybe, max 6 stars, unless you're a big time whale. And then Groot.
I've seen some 7 stars out
there. Yeah, I've seen a few. I mean, not a ton, but you got to think those people are, whales. Most people probably have Mantis close to 7 stars now. So you've got 3 at 7, but Captain Marvel and then, the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean.
So that would be my pick. If it was something that's like realistic that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, my only thing with that, and I think Avenue brings up a really good point here. 3 of those cosmic bios are also used for Star-Lord, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I just took Drax to Gear 12.
But you are forced to get a Fantastic Four, though. So.
Right. And at some point, you're going to have overlap.
One.
You're going to have overlap at some point. I mean, you can't, unless you do it where it's like you always use the new tunes that you just released to unlock the next one.
Well, but even then, then you have to use the Fantastic Four to unlock Invisible Woman, which I wouldn't have a problem with if you did it with them.
Yeah. I mean, you could literally say Fantastic Four and Captain Marvel. And Namor or something. You could just say that's who you need, but I don't know.
Yeah, because Namor kidnapped Invisible Woman many times. He was going to make her his wife.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're talking about traits and lining up by traits. They could just name specific characters.
Yeah, that's
These
exactly.
Are the characters. So we're theory crafting here, trying to come up with 5, but it could be just you need these characters.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, I've never played a game that's done that. So because this is
have you ever played a Fox Next game before this one?
That's a very fair point.
Okay.
That would probably not go over well at all. But I think we've kind of talked about this to the point where we could speculate for days on what it could be.
So curious.
So let's do something, guys, that Valley, I know you do a Q&A.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you do any type of Q&A, but here we weekly like to do a grab bag. I need to get sounders. Oh, I got 2 more audio cables. I can do sounders now.
You can put it in post. You don't need to do it live. You can put it in after.
That's a lot of work. And Hebrew does all the editing.
So make him do it. Dun, dun, dun.
So let's see. First question, Valley. In the interest of time, I'm gonna ask each of you to answer one of these.
Okay.
Valley, with War Attack Team coming out, Fantastic Four, what team would you think thematically would fit a War Defense team?
You know what? When we're talking about the aim rework, I thought that would be interesting to make a war defense team because we've had so many war offense teams. So aim, I would like them to be.
I like that answer. Wilbur, do you have anything that jumps out for you?
No, but I do like that answer. I like the aim answer because it's just different and could make for a fun team to attack.
Yeah. Okay, so Wilbur, when leveling a tune, what is more important, character shards or gear for that character?
Yes.
Ooh. My quick answer is shards.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah.
I think shards in this game are. And it says shards, but I think that means stars.
But
Oh,
it's the
that's
same
what I'm
thing. It's
saying,
the same
the same
thing.
thing.
It's the
Right.
same thing.
So that's
Same
fair.
thing.
That's fair. I have said for
Well,
a
let me-
long time, stars in this game are worthless.
So should we touch on red stars? Because that's
Oof.
part of why I say
I
that.
thought we weren't talking about that.
I know.
But they're so they add a variable that it's so, unless you get lucky and you get a lot of red stars on a really, really good character, I would never encourage anybody to change course just because you pulled a 6 red star character.
What about if it was a 6-star aim monstrosity now?
No, I wouldn't tell anybody to switch over to that.
Okay.
I actually disagree with that, depending on the character.
Like-
I mean, unless it's an Ant-Man, then sure, okay, don't mess with it. But if it's a, reasonably decent character,
Kingpin.
like say you get a 6 or 7-star red star War Machine, and you're deciding between maybe X-Men and Power Armor, I'd be like, no, you gotta pump into that War Machine because the stats once you get to those 6 and 7 stars, it goes through the roof.
It does, but I agree with you, and that's why I was like, depending on who you get, I would
Yeah.
not encourage anybody to shift.
Yeah, I mean, and look, if you have a 7 yellow star character and you've got them on T3 gear, they're gonna suck.
Right.
But I mean, so if you have T12 gear and a 3-star character, it's like, well, they can still probably hang.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
So-
in that regard, gear is clearly more valuable. But for me, when I'm actually farming, I care more about getting the shards first. So it's kind of a deeper question, I guess. But anyway, that's the way my brain works.
Which I understand. I think my only counterpoint to that is going to be because unlike like Galaxy of Heroes, gear level is not locked behind stars. So you can get to gear 13 and like my Minerva is only like 4-star. And I got her to
Most
gear
people's
13.
Minerva's was 4 stars.
Right.
for
Gear
the
13,
darkness.
got her into Fear the Darkness. She can't go into
Yeah.
Enter the Darkness, but she can go into the harder game mode. At 4 stars. Right?
But the question's only about when you're farming someone, right? Not necessarily like what do you think's more important for the strength of a character.
No, when leveling a tune. So when I hear when leveling a tune, when trying to decide what to do with that character, should you spend more time farming gear for that character or more time farming shards for that character?
So let me answer it this way then, and this might be like a politician type answer, but if you're trying to make a tune stronger, then it's about gear. If you want someone usable, stronger, then you need to get their gear first, period, because that's what makes them, like you just said, Minerva's a perfect example. You got her 3 or 4 stars, but you've got a high gear level. She's usable. The flip side to that, she's not usable at all. 7 yellow stars, gear 4, she's not doing anything.
Right.
But if I'm actually wanting to get a character like as far as I can long term, I'm making, like for instance Thing. I'm making sure I get Thing shards right now. I'm making sure I get them. I don't care about leveling them. I'm not pumping gear into them, but I'm making sure I get shards. So that some point when I do focus him, because I know the gear is easy, I can get the gear no problem, but the shards I can't. Those are hard to come by. So it's kind of a roundabout way to answer it, but that's my outlook on the whole thing.
And you make a very valid point there. It also depends on what your long-term goals are, because if you want to get Magneto, the gear isn't going to help you. You've got to get 5-star characters at a minimum. So, I do agree with you to an extent that, depending on what your long-term goals are, shards and stars are more important.
Yeah.
Valley. Next question. I was not going to bother with Sinister Six, but unfortunately I pulled 5 red stars for Mysterio. I am thinking of just putting him in Spider-Verse. I could then move Spidey or Miles to hero brawlers. Which one would you choose, or is this just a bad idea?
If you were to choose one of them, move Spider-Man. Miles, I think, adds too much with his disrupted and his speed down, kind of slowing down a turn before the character takes her turn because he takes some speed bar as well. So I think he's more necessary than Spider-Man is. Spider-Man's very dangerous, but take him out, put Mysterio in there.
Okay, so you think it's a good idea to pull one of them out for a Brawlers team and put Mysterio in?
Depends who else he has in his Brawlers team. I mean, if he's missing somebody solid on his Brawlers team, then yeah. But what are you going to do in Mysterio if you don't do that?
Right.
So it really depends on your whole roster what you should do. But if you need to pull one of those two out, pull Spider-Man out.
Wolver, do you agree or disagree?
I have a 6 red star Mysterio, and he's sitting on my Sinister Six team collecting dust. So. And I'm not touching my Brawlers team, so I don't know if that disagreed with Valley per se, but
no, it really depends on your roster if you should do that. My point was, who would you take out? The other part of his question, who would you take out if you need to take out Miles, Spider-Man?
For the Brawlers team?
Yeah.
If you were to who would you take out of the Spider-Verse team to put Mysterio in?
Oh, yeah, I agree with Valley.
All right.
Because I'd rather have Spider-Man and Brawlers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he makes much better use on Brawlers with his opening.
Yep.
Let's see. So, do store characters ever get nodes? Has it ever happened? I'm asking because I pulled 6 red stars on Carnage, and it feels bad buying those shards. No, store characters never get nodes. I don't think it's ever happened.
There's been some overlap before, but yeah, they've never went backwards and put them in nodes.
Right. Usually they'll have a node, and if they get added to a store, they'll take them off the node at some point. But they never go from the store to a node. At least nobody has yet. And they need to add nodes before they can do anything like that.
There might be one weird exception in global launch. They switched over a lot of things, but other than that, I don't think so.
Yeah. Let's see. Will there ever be significant content on the show for players that are not advanced in the game as the hosts? Makes me not want to listen.
This is a you question, Dorian.
It is a me question. We try. Honestly, we try to just bring you news about the game. We do talk about aspects of it, but we try as hard as possible to be more kind of open about what we talk about as far as news. And if there's some specific new player content you want us to talk about, shoot us a message. Feel free to DM me. You can send me a message on Twitter, Dorian Blade, hashtag 6090, and we can have a discussion about what you want to talk about. Jump on our Discord and ask us questions. It's hard. There's so much really to talk about for new players. It's kind of hard to kind of narrow down what type of content to talk about. Let's see. Best guess for Sue Storm. We talked about that. Let's see. Let's see. With the X-Men, at least some of them, and the Fantastic Four, some of them so far, being added to the game recently, what other teams are you looking forward to being added? Valley.
I want more X-Men. I don't need another team. I want more X-Men.
All right.
Gambit. Who else is there? Iceman. There's so many. Rogue. Yes. Jeez. Even Jubilee from the cartoon. Right?
Oh, she was so horrible.
Oh, bring back Jubilee just for Dorian.
Oh. Wolver, what about you?
Yeah, I actually have the exact same answer. I love X-Men. I'd love more of them. I don't see necessarily a team. I was trying to think of some other, maybe a couple more galactic type entities, as far as Doctor Doom. I want characters
what other
like.
teams are out there, by the way? Are there any other teams now?
Like X-Force, full X-Force, Alpha Fight. Who was the team that?
Excalibur.
Yeah, Excalibur.
Well, yeah.
Was Excalibur the one with what's his name?
Britain. Psylocke's brother.
God, I forget the guy's name. He was on that Gifted show. Anyway. Oh God, yeah, Nightcrawler would be awesome.
Yeah, Nightcrawler would be kind of cool.
Bishop. Oh God, I loved Bishop growing up.
More mutants. Just put more mutants.
Yeah. Obviously there are a whole bunch of Avenger teams that you can do.
And then there's individual characters.
There's a ton of individual characters.
Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Red Hulk,
Blade.
Deathlock.
Blade.
Deathlock. I know you have.
I'm still on my Deathlock kick, man.
Deathlock and A Monstrosity together as one.
The pacifist and the guy who hits the hardest in the game. Okay. Let's see. You guys are both married, so I'm not going to ask you that question.
I don't know what the
Veronica.
Okay. Oh,
I do my
right there.
I do my homework.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. Will Dorian ever sub co-host for Masters of Launch? I've never been asked. You have to ask them, guys. Let's see. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could Chuck Norris? I did not have to practice that either.
Nice. Oh yeah, Lady Deathstrike.
Hey, WolverThor, while he's searching for the next question, what's your favorite Chuck Norris joke?
My favorite Chuck Norris show?
Joke.
Oh.
Your show, his joke.
Right.
I don't know if I have a favorite. Just, I had one ready for that question and I forgot what it was, but it was some just like Chuck Norris doesn't chuck wood or something. Forget what it was. Something terrible and not funny.
Yeah. Awesome.
He doesn't do push-ups. He does earth downs.
Yeah, there you go. Stuff like that.
Let's see. You guys don't play Galaxy of Heroes, do you?
I don't.
I used to. Not anymore.
Okay. Let's see. What's the best arena team with Phoenix, but without X-Men or Ultron? Golly.
All right. Let me go off the top of my head. Magneto, Juggernaut, Phoenix. Let's go Fury and Vision, I think. Or Vision and Minerva. Let's go with that.
I would take out Vision and put Fury in there. Vision doesn't really do anything. I mean, he removes the buffs.
Vision blocks Ultron if you can.
He blocks Ultron.
He could ability block Ultron.
He can ability block Ultron.
If you're not blind, if you're not in stealth from Phoenix. I guess it would depend on who you're fighting, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the ultimate slurpy flavor for hot weather? Wolver, go.
Blueberry.
Ooh. Valley.
I don't know, something with very little sugar. I don't know. I don't drink Slurpees.
I actually like mix. I like to put cherry and blueberry together.
I like it.
Let's see. Oh, hey, Valley, what hours do dogs work?
What?
What hours do dogs work?
I don't know. What hours do dogs work?
K9 to 5.
Oh.
Let's see.
Nice.
What is your preferred type of toast if you eat toast, and what do you put on top of it? Wolver.
Ooh, I can't say. I mean, eggs and sausage and sourdough toast, eggs and sausage on top.
That's pretty good. Valley.
Cinnamon Ezekiel bread with some peanut butter on it.
Nice. Actually, I also
cinnamon
eat,
raisin.
I also do
raisin.
the cinnamon raisin Ezekiel bread. Yeah, with some butter and cinnamon. That is amazing. We eat the Ezekiel too.
Better for your gut.
Yeah. Okay, Valley. In your opinion, who is the most average character in the game?
Average character, I would say Electra.
Okay.
It's very average. There's a lot of characters above her. There's a lot of characters below her. Straight in the middle.
Average? Oh, man, that is a hard. The first thought I thought is Hawkeye, but I'm like, no, Hawkeye kind of sucks.
What are you talking about?
I don't like Hawkeye.
Oh.
You like Hawkeye?
I don't like. I'm not going to say he's like
he's
great.
in love with
Evan,
Hawkeye.
No,
I hate to say it. My answer is what Evan actually says, and I know this goes to our buddy here, but Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man is the most average player in the game.
Pretty average. No, if his kid is very good, so if his stats were a little bumped up, he would be very.
He does have an amazing kid, especially if you got Wasp on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he steals, gives to her, he ability blocks, he slows the entire team.
Mm-hmm.
Put some crazy ISO 8s on him, he could be the best.
I'm so thankful we didn't do that one. Let's see.
Hey, I gotta say, Dorian, I think you're doing a good job. We talked beforehand while you were getting water, and we're trying to make you upset this whole episode, and you've done a good job keeping it together. So,
I told you it's a newer, kinder, gentler Dorian. Hey, what are your opinion on pickles? I just say yes, please.
Sour, not sweet.
Yes, I agree with that.
Unless you're putting sweet relish on a hot dog, then
Yeah, that's the only time.
Other than that, it should be sour.
Let's see. Why is Dorian so hostile? Really? Huh.
Not enough
He was pretty
coffee.
pacifistic tonight.
Man.
Jeez.
All right.
Trying to get them all upset too.
I mean, you know, you get upset once. Jeez.
Talking about Cherie, how much Luke Cage sucks, how bad a monstrosity is, all that stuff, and he held it together pretty well.
Oof.
Oh, it's close though. It got close.
Let's see. Oh, the last question is not a question. Let's smash it.
Oh yeah, brother.
All right, that's our grab bag for this week. Where's that mute button? You're not gonna find it fast enough. So, guys, before we head out for this week, Valley, why don't you let everybody know, buddy, who you farming?
Loki, Green Goblin, Okoye, and Hand Ass Assassin.
Fair enough. Wolfer, what about you?
Shield Operative, Shield Assault, Okoye, Ravager Bruiser, Aim Assaulter, Aim Security, Scientist Supreme.
My God,
Sniper.
man.
Hey, I'm not
This
done.
is on a daily basis.
I'm not done. Hydra Sniper, and Merc Sniper. And then
And it was
I'm
at this
not-
point Dorian realized his classic mistake.
I am 100% not joking.
So those are daily farms for you.
Absolutely. I will send you I'll put the screenshot in Discord right now.
Wow, man. More power to you.
Well, I mean, when you're playing 5 hours a day, you gotta
Well, that's
farm
true.
something, right?
Right, that's true.
Exact
That's
amount
true.
of stuff to farm.
Holy crap.
You need to. You know what, Wolver? You need to get into a good deck building game.
Oh yeah.
I love those. I just picked Hearthstone back up and Elder Scrolls Legends. They're pretty pay to win heavy and advancement, but man, I miss a good Magic the Gathering style game. Old Magic the Gathering, not the new Planeswalker junk. I don't like the Planeswalker stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned that game concept to me the other day, and I never have gotten into it, and for no good reason or another. I just, I typically run with one game at a time. I've played this one. I jumped into Marvel Alliance 3 for a while, but it's maybe one day, maybe you could get me in.
Hey, Dorian, where are you farming?
I am working on getting Ultron to Gear 13. I'm so close. I'm 2 purple pieces away from getting him to Gear 12. I'm
Let's
farming.
say you got the purple pieces tomorrow. Who would you be farming?
Well, I also farm Loki, Nobu, and a Hand Assassin because I didn't get Dark Phoenix last time around. So I need to at least unlock her. I'm not going to get her 7-star because I haven't gone after them that hard, but I should at least be able to unlock her when she comes back in September.
Is nice.
It is very nice.
Oh, Murdoch wants me to explain what he calls or I assume Captain Murdoch. Well, I don't know. He or she calls nonsense. I don't think it's nonsense. I think it's great strategy for farming. Captain Murdoch wants me to explain my nonsense, my farming nonsense.
Oh man. Yeah. It was kind of
Explain your
amazing.
farming nonsense.
Honestly, it's just
Look
to
at
get.
all those characters.
Yeah, the truth. The honest is, I want to get as many people as I can to 5, 6, 7 stars, so that I never have to worry about what an unlock is, unless it's a new character.
Yeah.
Hey, Flip asks how much that farming takes. How much energy?
I can finish it. I mean, I do 50 refreshes, and I'm normally short on just, I think, the Merc Sniper or maybe the last 2 snipers. So it's basically all my refreshes for the day. But I generate throughout the day, and I'll still farm gear at the end of it. Like right now, it's towards the end of the day, and when I get energy, I'm farming tech or mutant gear.
Nice.
I don't know how you have anything at the end of the day.
Because he's on it all day because he doesn't have anything else to do right now.
That's right.
So.
Just ice my shoulder, watch TV.
I'm going to give you my account information, and I'm going to need you to log in.
That might be too much.
And do stuff throughout the day.
Yeah.
No, it's really simple, man. Really, really simple. All right. Well, guys, before we head out, Valley, why don't you let everybody know how they can get a hold of you, see your content, talk to you, things like that.
Oh, you can check out my content on YouTube, youtube.com/ValleyFlyin. Best way to get in contact with me is on Discord, but I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and I just started an Instagram account, so check that out.
That's all your workout stuff, isn't it?
It's gonna be more of a personal blog, so yeah, I'll put workout stuff on there.
Called it. Wolver, how can they get a hold of you and see your content?
Same as far as YouTube, /WolverThor. I've also got a Twitch channel, but it's WolverThor Official. I haven't really been doing that much, but it's WolverThor Official. I do have a Facebook as well, but I'm not really posting on there much. But I will have a Discord server sometime and quote unquote coming soon. So at some point, I'll have my own Discord server to invite people to and share information on.
Nice. I know everybody will be looking forward to that. And so I want to give everybody a bit of a sneak peek. Next week, we are going to have an extremely special guest host. I'm not going to give out any further details until we get closer to next week. But let's just say that somebody we've never heard from before will be joining us live on the show, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to it. So you're not going to miss next week's episode at all. Be here live if you can.
It better be somebody good to top this one.
I was just going to say.
Well, it is hard to top you guys. Casino was unavailable. But
Ouch.
Actually, I wanted to, before we head out, I want to really thank you guys for jumping in and volunteering to help out this week when I sent out the call. It was really nice to get a couple of fellow envoys on here and kind of be able to discuss some things and get some different perspectives on the game from guys who do it more from the video side. Really appreciate it. I think you guys both do some excellent content, and I'm proud to be part of the Envoy program with both of you, and super happy and honored that you guys took a couple of hours out of your day to join me on the Ravager. So big shout out to both of you guys. And again, you can find both Valley and Wolver on YouTube on their respective channels, and reach out to them. They're both really great, solid guys. So I highly recommend both channels for content. And again, don't miss next week's show. I cannot stress that enough. I just can't. Otherwise, thank you for listening to the Ravager Report. You can find us on any and all of your favorite podcast apps, or by going directly to our Podbean site at ravagerreport.podbean.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating and a review, as it helps us make the show better for you. You can find us on Twitter at Ravager Repo and also join our Discord at discord.me/Ravager Report. If you would like to help support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/Ravager Report, and for just $5 per month, you can get early access to the uncut live show a day or two before it's released. Finally, we want to send a great big shout out to all our listeners and patrons for their continued support. And until next time, keep fighting, true believers.